Today we are back with a Deadstart tutorial. I had already made a Deadstart tutorial, the best technique for succeeding on floating docks and with a race. But since a lot of people don't necessarily have that kind of dock nearby and only have concrete docks or don't have a floating dock where you can pass the wing underneath, I'm making a Deadstart tutorial. The Deadstart technique is a bit more difficult, but not that much, especially with the new gear. To successfully do the Deadstart easily, I recommend a wing with a good wingspan, so from 125 to 160, no problem, with a surface area between 1700 and over 2000. And we'll try to aim for at least a ratio of 9. A ratio of 9 or more will really be ideal for beginners. The Deadstart technique isn't going to be much more difficult than the Dockstart technique I mentioned to you. Actually, it all comes down to the push-off and launching yourself forward. So actually, you'll need to keep your hands firmly on the board and launch yourself using your legs and your whole body, your hands, etc. And all of that with wingsuit, with generous wings like this, will give you the lift you need to start pumping. So here, for example, I use the Condor M, which has a wingspan of 126, a ratio of 9 for 1,737 square centimeters. So this is definitely a beginner setup, and you can go even bigger without any problem. I'm going to show you the technique step by step. This is really going to be the best technique. With this technique, you'll truly be able to start from anywhere. Once you make progress, you'll be able to do high docks, low docks, rock starts, start with a ladder really, without any problem. So I really recommend this technique. This is truly the technique for the maximum number of people to succeed. So the first step is going to be to do a launch while keeping your hands and feet on the board. So first we're going to position the wing at the corner of the dock. So the front wing should be in front of the dock, and we move it a bit to the side, so the stabilizer, to avoid it touching the dock. So we're going to launch ourselves with the whole upper body moving forward with the board while keeping both hands on the board. So we place our back end at the back of the board in the middle and the front end on the rail. And when we launch, we move the front hand toward the nose of the board. Depending on the setup, we'll either put it all the way at the tip of the board or place it 4 or 5 centimeters from the nose to prevent the board from diving too suddenly into the water. There you go. And now you need to push off decisively, placing your back foot first and keeping your hands on the board until the very end. This will help you control your balance and start gliding a bit without any dangerous falls, because by keeping my hands on the board, I'm holding onto it and controlling the foil. Step 2 is going to be the stage where we start gliding. So basically, we'll do the same thing, but this time, as soon as both feet are, as soon as we place them on the board, we'll let go with our hands, stand up straight, and let ourselves glide, sliding as far as possible. So the goal is to glide and feel that you have some speed at the start. Even if the board touches the water, it should keep moving forward and cover as much distance as possible. So we'll pay attention to the position of our arms to maintain good front to back balance on the board. The board needs to stay as straight as possible at the moment of takeoff. So to launch yourself, it really comes from the upper body. It's not just the arms, it's the whole torso, but also the legs. Actually, the front leg will give the final push. It will push the board on, even our body away from the dock. You're going to launch yourself with your whole body plus the push from your front leg. You'll need to really work on this to get the maximum energy. And with this technique, once you're experienced, you can Deadstart without running. So wings of 1100 square centimeters are no problem. And so this is the same technique as for the rock start. So with this technique, you can start from anywhere. The third step is the pumping phase. So now you've got your balance, you can start pumping. Always remember to start off straight. To do that, look where you want to go, don't look at your feet, but keep your eyes straight ahead at the horizon. For pumping, make sure to use both legs to pump. So it's like doing half squats, you really need to lighten yourself with your whole body. So you're not just pumping with your back leg, it's really with both legs equally. And little by little, you make adjustments depending on your foil. So you need to accelerate with your front leg before pressing down with your back foot, otherwise you lose speed. There you go, so you need to practice a bit, try things out, and see how the foil reacts. And with a good start, the pumping will come very quickly. Actually, the people who struggle with pumping are the ones who have a bad start. Because when you have a bad start, you don't have enough speed, and right from the beginning, you're going to be lacking speed. And when you're a beginner, you actually need a bit of extra speed so you can pump with your technique, which isn't very efficient yet, because little by little, with the mistakes you'll make, you lose speed. So the start is really a key step that you absolutely shouldn't neglect or leave to chance. That's why I'm teaching you here what I believe is the most effective technique. With this technique, you'll transfer the most energy and lose as little energy as possible. It's a technique that works for everyone, no matter your level, build, height, weight, and so on, or your age. And it's really the technique that allows the greatest number of people to succeed at Dockstart. And with this, you never end up with a random or awkward foot position or anything like that. Your feet simply take the place of where your hands were. So if I position my hands correctly, my feet will be placed exactly the same way with every launch. So once you start getting the launches right, you very quickly reach a really high success rate. All right, I hope you enjoyed this. Feel free to subscribe and leave a comment if you have any questions. I'm ready to answer you even on Instagram. You can send me a quick message. All right, see you soon.